If you've been keeping up with the situation around Martell Holt, then you know this has been going on for years. But today, things have reached a point where people are saying enough is enough. Martell is officially in court, and there is now real talk about the possibility of jail time. That's not a rumor, it's a reality that could play out depending on what the judge decides. And when you look at everything that's happened leading up to this moment, it's not hard to see why so many fans are frustrated, why Melody is frustrated, and why the viewers are demanding some kind of resolution. Let's start with the most important fact: Martell and Melody's divorce has been finalized for almost 7 years. That's right, 7 years have passed since they ended their marriage. Normally, by this point, the custody arrangements would have been settled, the requirements from the court would have been completed, and both parents would have been able to move forward. But with Martell, that has not been the case. Every time they get close to a court date, something happens. A new motion is filed. A new excuse comes up. A new reason to delay is created. And because of that, the custody battle has dragged on endlessly. For anyone watching this from the outside, it looks less like Martell is fighting for his children and more like Martell is fighting to stay attached to Melody. He has refused to let go, and the court system in Alabama has allowed this case to stretch out far longer than it should have. Fans who have been following from day one are tired. Melody is tired. Even people who don't watch the show but hear about the updates are shaking their heads because it just doesn't make sense. Now here's where things get really serious. Martell was ordered by the court to complete certain requirements. These were not suggestions. These were not requests. These were official court orders. And one of the main things he was supposed to do was complete a psychological evaluation. This evaluation was ordered years ago. Not months, years. And yet, to this day, Martell has not done it. Think about that for a moment. Any other parent who ignored a judge's order for years would have been held in contempt. They would have had their visitation restricted. They would have been forced to face real consequences. But Martell? Somehow, he continues to walk into court without fulfilling his obligations, and still walks out with visitation rights to see his children. People can't understand it. How does that even happen? How does a man who is already on probation, who has prior issues, get away with ignoring direct orders from the court without consequences? Martell is not squeaky clean. He's not someone who has a spotless record. And yet, time and time again, he has avoided accountability. Fans are fed up, and many are saying the only way he's going to change is if the court actually does something real this time. That means jail time. Some are saying lock him up for 30 days. If he still doesn't comply, lock him up for another 30 days. At this point, words mean nothing. Deadlines mean nothing. Motions mean nothing. The only thing that might finally make Martell realize the seriousness of this situation is real consequences. And until that happens, he's going to keep dragging this out. But why does Martell drag it out? Why does he keep pulling Melody back into court, filing motion after motion, excuse after excuse? Well, the answer many fans give is simple: he's not over Melody. He might be living with Ariane Curry, the woman he cheated with for years, but his heart and mind are still with Melody. He even admitted in a past conversation that every time he sees his kids, it reminds him of what he lost. That is not the language of a man who has moved on. That is the language of a man who is stuck in the past, clinging to any way he can stay connected to his ex-wife. And for him, the court system has become that tool. This is where things get sad and even infuriating, because while Martell is playing these games, the children are caught in the middle. They are the ones dealing with the instability. They are the ones being pulled back and forth. They are the ones watching their parents fight year after year. And while Melody is doing her best to give them stability, Martell keeps dragging things into chaos. Now, let's talk about Melody for a second. Despite everything she's been through, she has been thriving. She has been glowing, traveling with her kids, working hard, building businesses, and clearly moving forward. She is not stuck in the past. She is not sitting around trying to drag Martell back into her life. She has made it clear through her actions that she is focused on her kids, her career, and her happiness. Fans love seeing this. They love watching her win, watching her smile, watching her glow. It's refreshing to see someone rise above the drama. Meanwhile, Martell is the opposite. His reputation is ruined. His businesses are struggling. Financially, he is not thriving. He has been exposed time and time again, both on the show and outside of it. Even Melody herself has made comments that suggest he never had as much going on as he liked to pretend. And so, when you put all of this together, you see a man clinging to the only way he can still have contact with Melody, through the kids and the court. But here's another layer to the mess. Martell has not only refused to follow the court's orders, but he has also refused to pay child support. That means Melody is carrying the full financial weight of raising 4 children. She buys everything. She provides everything. She holds it all together. And while she does this, Martell has been seen supporting Ariane and her household. Imagine that, ignoring your responsibilities to your children while taking care of the woman you cheated with. Fans call that selfish. They call it bitter. And they are right. Another issue is how Martell interacts with his children when he does have visitation. Instead of just spending quality time with them, instead of making them feel loved and secure, he uses those moments to question them about Melody. He turns them into little spies, asking about who their mother is dating, where she's going, what she's doing. That's not parenting. That's manipulation. And it puts the kids in a very uncomfortable position because they are not supposed to feel like they're reporting back to one parent about the other. They're supposed to feel safe and free. But with Martell, it often feels like an interrogation. This has gone on for too long. Fans are saying that if Martell wants to see his children, he needs to follow the court's orders. No more delays. No more excuses. No more games. Until he completes what the judge told him to do, his visitation should be restricted. That's not being harsh, that's being fair. Because at the end of the day, the court orders were put in place for a reason. And if he's refusing to do them, then why should he still get the benefits of visitation? But let's step back for a moment and look at the bigger picture. This drama is not just about Martell and Melody anymore. It's about the entire cast of Love and Marriage, Huntsville. Everyone has been pulled into this at one point or another. Destiny Payton, for example, has been seen giving Martell advice, even though her own situation with her ex-husband was messy. She filed for bankruptcy to avoid paying money tied to her own son, yet she sits with Martell and talks about being stuck. 2 people in messy situations giving each other advice. It's almost laughable, but it's also dangerous when children's lives are involved. Then there's Carlos King, the producer. Many fans feel like he has protected Martell for too long, spinning storylines around his drama instead of holding him accountable. The cheating, the custody issues, the messy relationship with Ariane, it's the same recycled content season after season. Fans are tired of it. They want new storylines, new cast members, and less of Martell being allowed to embarrass Melody while avoiding responsibility. And speaking of Ariane Curry, her role is important too. Martell doesn't keep her around because he's deeply in love with her. Fans believe he keeps her around because she never challenges him. She doesn't hold him accountable. She doesn't call him out. She lets him be who he is, even when it's destructive. But deep down, people know Martell still wants Melody. Ariane is just filling the space because she's the only one willing to stay in the mess. Meanwhile, Melody is free. She's focused on her children and her businesses. She's happy. She's glowing. Fans see the contrast clearly. One person is moving forward while the other is stuck in the same cycle. And now we've reached this moment where things could finally change. The court has the power to hold Martell accountable. They can enforce the rules they set years ago. They can restrict his visitation. They can put him in jail for contempt. And for the first time in years, there is real pressure on the system to act. The question now is, will they do it? Will the court finally say enough is enough, Or will Martell find another way to delay and avoid responsibility? That's what fans are waiting to see, because here's the truth, until Martell faces real consequences, nothing is going to change. He will keep dragging this out. He will keep pulling Melody back into court. He will keep ignoring his responsibilities while trying to control the narrative. And the ones who suffer the most are the kids. This is why so many people are calling for the judge to step in and do something real this time. If that means 30 days in jail, so be it. Maybe that's what it will take to finally make Martell wake up and realize that this is not a game. These are children's lives. This is about stability. This is about responsibility. And it's long past time for him to face the reality of his actions. So, what do you think? Will the court finally hold Martell Holt accountable? Will he finally face the consequences of years of ignoring court orders? Or will he pull another stunt to avoid responsibility once again? One thing is certain, people are watching closely. Melody is moving on. The kids deserve better. And the fans are ready for resolution.